If you're a leader and business owner, you might be struggling to balance your work with your desire to continue taking a stand for our freedom. Join me as I tackle this dilemma head on while offering you a path to cultivate deeper alignment with your business, messaging, and freedom fighting ways. In this episode, you'll learn why you need to stop compartmentalizing and start integrating. The importance of carving your own path, even if the future looks unclear. 3 truths that you need to know in order to create clarity, and 4 questions to ask yourself to support the evolution of your business. Now, if you are an entrepreneurial leader and are interested in joining the next round of Potent Leaders, which is an intimate group coaching and mentorship program with me, head to rubyfremon.com/potent leaders and add your name to the waitlist. The next round of this 4-month program will start at the beginning of 2022. My new book, Potent Leadership, is available on Amazon everywhere and will soon be available on Audible. Make sure you grab a copy of the book at potentleadership.com or through your Amazon app. And if you hate Jeff Bezos, just walk in to your local bookstore and ask them to order a copy of the book in for you, and they will. Now, whether you are a loyal listener or brand new to the podcast, please take a moment to download a few episodes and drop a rating and review on iTunes. Every single download, every single rating, every single review helps get this podcast out to more leaders around the world. And I promise you, it'll take you no more than like 3 to 5 minutes, and you'll be doing me a big, big favor. Now, it is time to talk about how you can be a leader, freedom fighter, and business owner in these complicated times. Beyond the narrative, underneath the veil of illusion, and deep within your center, therein lies potent truth. Welcome to Potent Truth, where today's leaders, changemakers, and light carriers come together to question the narrative, arrive at potent truth, and lead with sovereignty. What is potency? It's who you are beneath the masks, facades, and protective gear. It's the medicine humanity yearns for, cries out for, prays for, and needs. Your potency is what sets you apart, magnetizes your following, and creates movements. Join me, Ruby Fremon, for weekly guidance, channeled messages, and potent conversations that will take you on a journey of self-discovery. I am here to guide you to a place of unraveling the programming that's been keeping us stuck for generations, unlocking potent truth and expressing it through sovereign leadership. It's time for change. It's time for potent truth. To my fellow freedom fighters, leaders, and entrepreneurs, welcome to another episode of Potent Truth. And I am coming fresh out of my combo practitioner training and feeling really fucking good. One, because it just feels good to be in this space of actually facilitating combo when this is something that I knew I wanted to do when combo healed my life, when it saved my life in 2019. I knew I wanted to do this. I didn't feel ready. So it feels good to be in this place now, fresh out of the combo practitioner training, and also just feeling super fucking clear and energized because I myself had a lot of combo sessions. So I'm going to get more into that in a future episode. In the next solo episode, which is 2 episodes from now, I will talk about combo and my practitioner training and how combo can support you, what it is, and all of that. So I'm going to get into that. I just need some time to integrate, but I thought I'd mention that. So stay tuned for that episode. But for today, I really want to dive into a conversation that is on the top of a lot of people's minds right now. We are now, like over a year and a half into this collective shitstorm that continues to throw tornadoes our way. Let's just put it that way. And at first it was like, okay, like we'll just incorporate some of our freedom fighting ways into our messaging. But then somewhere down the line, it becomes the thing that you're most obsessed with, and your business takes a back seat. And I know a lot of you have been feeling this, or the opposite, where you really desire speaking up on what's going on, but you're struggling to do it in a way that feels aligned with your business. So just know that you're not alone. This is one of the most common things that I get asked about in my DMs all the fucking time by entrepreneurial leaders just like you. It's like, how do I continue running my business while still fighting for freedom? How do I balance the content that I'm putting out there? And how do I not get sucked into the fight for freedom so that I don't lose track of my business? I mean, these are all really valid questions, and they are questions that I've asked myself many, many times over. And one of the things that I continue returning to is that this is something that I cannot not speak up about. I'm going to say that again. This is something that I cannot not speak up about. I have to. It is baked into my values. I value freedom. I value sovereignty and autonomy. I value health and wellness. I mean, the last 20 years of my life have been dedicated to my health. I've been devoted to my well-being, to my healing for 20 fucking years. And I'm not about to ignore what's going on in the world because I feel like in order to have a successful business, I need to show up in a certain way. Can we just throw all that shit out the door? Because everything in our world has fucking changed. Okay. Everything. So this is not a time to quote unquote keep up appearances. This is not a time to try and control how you're being perceived. This is not a time to stuff yourself into a box that you don't fucking fit into. Okay. Now, I always tell my clients, like, I'm not a business coach. I'm just really fucking good at business. I'm not a marketing strategist. I'm just really fucking great at marketing. And yes, I used to be a social media marketing strategist in a past life. So I guess I kind of still am. And I am a coach and a leadership guide first and foremost. And I am here to guide you into your potency so that you can lead as the fullest expression of who you be. I mean, I wrote a fucking book on this. Okay. So if you're struggling to be both a freedom fighter and a business owner, that is a sign that you're not being the fullest expression of who you be. That is a sign that you're holding yourself back in some way, shape, or form. And that's what I want to talk about today. So let's dive in. Now, as I said, if you are a leader and a business owner right now, you might be feeling that struggle to balance your work with your desire to take a stand for our freedom. And whether you are the leader who has been taking a stand this whole time, or a leader who has desired to take a stand but has been scared to do so in case it might shake up your business, it's like this balancing act that you're trying to master. And the balancing act is, between posting about the world's events and posting about your programs, your offers, and your services. Is about creating and leading communities for the new earth, and creating and leading communities for your potential and existing clients. It's about creating content that raises awareness for health, freedom, and content that raises awareness of your work. What you need to understand is that it is not this or that. This is not a this or that situation. If taking a stand for our freedom feels like something that you innately have to do, then it is time for you to evolve your business and your messaging. You have to stop compartmentalizing and start integrating. Okay. So the reality check that you need right now is that this is where we're at in humanity. There's no going back. Like, this is where we're at. There is absolutely no going back, meaning there's no going back to the old ways of building, leading our businesses. It is time to evolve. Okay. And if you are not, as a leader, if you are not evolving, then you are holding yourself hostage in the past, which means you're not leading, right? Everything in our world is shifting, everything. And as a leader, it's your duty to pave the way for what's next. Otherwise, you're simply letting yourself be led by the external events in our world, right? You're letting the external events push you around and push you into other directions that may not be aligned for you. You need to pave the way. Okay. And that means evolving. Adaptability is key. You have to be willing to shift. You have to be willing to evolve. You have to be willing to dive into the unknown. And yes, there are a lot of unknowns right now. And you must remain devoted to carving your own path as a leader so that you don't get sucked back into the matrix, right? You worked really fucking hard to get out of the matrix. You worked really hard to disillusion yourself from all the illusions in our world. So why would you continue to run your business as if you are still in the matrix? Why would you continue to run your business and share messaging from the times when you were in the illusion or part of the illusion? You know, this is time to adapt. This is time to shift. This is time to evolve. And 3 truths that you need to know, okay, is 1, the way in which we run business is changing. It's changing to what we don't know yet, okay? But it's changing. The second truth is social media isn't guaranteed. If this last year and a half has taught you anything about the online world, it is that social media is not guaranteed. I've said this before, and I'm going to say this again and again and again until you all fucking get it. When you are using a social media app, you are playing in someone else's house under someone else's rules, okay? That's not your home. You don't own your following. You don't own their email addresses. You don't own that community. So that's the second truth you need to know. The third truth you need to know is that no one knows for certain what's coming. There are a lot of assumptions, theories, ideas of what's coming. There's definitely going to be new ways for us to stay in connection and curate community online and digital technologies, but no one knows for certain what is coming. Everything is still being built, you know, and you can be part of that movement moving forward. This means that you must be courageous enough to follow what feels most aligned for you. Okay. Now, this is exactly the type of shit that I've been supporting the leaders in my Potent Leaders program with this year. The next round for Potent Leaders, FYI, it's a 4-month journey with 10 incredible leaders. So the next round is going to begin at the beginning of 2022. If you want to be part of that, get on the wait list at rubyfremon.com/potent leaders. Now, again, this isn't about choosing this or that, right? You have to stop compartmentalizing and start integrating all of this, because all of this is you. Like I've said before, you are the foundation for your business, for your movement, for your messaging. Your business isn't this separate entity. It is you. It is created from your purpose, from your traumas, from your wounds, from your lessons. This is you. So you need to stop following what others are doing and start deciding what's best for you right now and what's best for the people that you're here to serve, because everything is evolving. So I know by saying this, wait, let me back up. So what I mean by this is that there are a lot of people doing a lot of different things, trying a lot of different things. And the way that I see it is everyone's just throwing spaghetti on the wall, myself included. We're just throwing spaghetti on the wall to see what fucking sticks. Because again, the truth, we don't know for certain what's coming. So we're all just trying different things. What's important is that you don't just try different things for the sake of trying different things. Like, you're not just trying different things out of desperation. You're trying different things that actually feel aligned for you, right? Some people are moving their communities over to Telegram. Some people are moving their communities over to apps like Mighty Networks. Some people are diving more into in-person retreats and workshops. Some people are diving more into online trainings when they never did them before. Some people are diving more into digital courses. I mean, everyone's got a different flavor. What matters is that you're following what feels best for you. For example, a digital course doesn't feel best for me. I love in person. I love intimacy. So I'm ramping up my intimate group programs and will start offering in-person retreats again as of 2022. I've also shifted a lot of my audience over to Telegram, and in knowing that Telegram is also just another platform owned by another corporation, I've also started moving people over into my email list because that is something that I own. So you have to find the path that works best for you. Like I have a friend, Dr. Brett Jones, who has been on this podcast twice. You might know him. And he started a Mighty Networks group, and it's fucking phenomenal for him. And he's got a team and they can manage the Mighty Networks group, and it's doing really, really well. That's what works for him. For me, it doesn't feel right and aligned for me to start a Mighty Networks group because one, I just don't have the energetic capacity to hold that space at this moment. I prefer the intimacy and the smaller groups. So you have to stop following what other people are doing. Okay. And just start tapping into your needs and your desires and what's best for you and the people that you're here to serve, your community. So when it comes to your business, your movement, your services, your programs, your offers, everything, it's time to audit all of that so that you can evolve your business, your messaging, and your online presence. Okay. Again, now is not the time to stay the same. Now is the time to evolve, to adapt, to shift what no longer fits, because it's not this or that. It's all of it. Okay. So here are 4 questions to ask yourself to support you in evolving your business during this time. Okay. And you're going to want to write these down. If you're driving, don't worry, just go back to the episode and write these down when you're not driving. But if you're not driving, write these questions down, because I promise you, if you do the fucking work, if you take the time to answer these questions, they will create clarity for you to see the ways in which you need to evolve your business. Okay. So question number 1, what value is being challenged right now? So we all have innate values. We all have our core values. And with my clients, such as my clients in the Potent Leaders program, I always like to support them in evolving what are your actual like top 5 values? What are those really? And it's important to know what value is being challenged during this time. Like for some, maybe it's the value of justice. Maybe it's the value of health. Maybe it's the value of integrity. Maybe it's the value of freedom. There is a value that you have within you that is being challenged right now due to the world's events. And it's up to you to identify what that value is or values. Okay. Question number 2, and ask this once you've identified the value or values: is this value or are these values woven into my business and my messaging? Okay. And I don't mean just your messaging about the freedom fighting. I mean, is this actually woven into your business and your messaging? If you value freedom, for example, is freedom, the value of freedom, woven into your business? Meaning, is it woven into your programs, services, offers? And is it woven into your messaging? Like, is this something that you speak about? Question 3, what pieces of my business need to shift to align with this value or these values? So this is where shit can get a little tough, right? Because you've got to face the truth. Are there aspects of your business or pieces of your business that don't actually align with these values that you just named in number 1 in question 1? And if they don't align, then what needs to shift? And then finally, question number 4, how can I adjust my messaging to integrate this value or these values while still honoring my offers, gifts, and services? So in other words, how can I keep seeking up while still honoring what I have to offer? Again, it's not this or that, right? It's all of it. That all of this is you. If you cannot not speak up about what's going on, then you need to integrate this value into your messaging while still honoring your gifts, your offers, and your services. So this just means weaving these values in while still talking about your business, weaving these values in while still talking about the world's events, being able to talk about the world's events in a way that weaves it into your business and your programs and your offers and your services. Okay, that's all this is. Your answers to these 4 questions will support your evolution. I promise you, if you take the time to answer these 4 questions, you will get clear on the direction in which you get to move in. So let me repeat those 4 questions. Question number 1, what value is being challenged? Question number 2, is this value woven into my business and messaging? Question number 3, what pieces of my business need to shift to align with this value? And question number 4, how can I adjust my messaging to integrate this value while still honoring my offers, gifts, and services? It's time to stop compartmentalizing and start integrating, because the people that you're here to serve, they need you now more than ever. And you need to start trusting that this evolution is going to support your service and your work in the most profound ways, because it will. In other words, don't be afraid to change. Don't be afraid to evolve right now. Don't be afraid to shift. You're not meant to fit into a fucking box. It is time to evolve so you can deepen the way in which you serve humanity right now. And if you'd like support with this evolution, I invite you to join me in the next round of Potent Leaders. Just head to rubyfremon.com/potent leaders and add your name to the wait list. The next round of Potent Leaders will start at the beginning of 2022. That's it. That's all for today's episode. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Potent Truth, where I am taking you on a journey to challenge illusion and lead with sovereignty. Now, if you are one of the few who has yet to get a copy of my book, just head to potentleadership.com and grab yours today. It's available on Amazon all over the world. And if you don't like Amazon because Jeff Bezos is kind of a dick, just go into your local bookstore, your fave local bookstore, and ask them to order a copy of my book in for you, and they will. And FYI, Potent Leadership will be available soon on Audible. Stay tuned for details. It is coming up super, super fast, and I'm so stoked to reveal this transmission with the world. Be sure to download a few episodes and drop a rating and review on iTunes. Every single download, rating, and review helps get this podcast out to more leaders around the world. And of course, as always, connect with me on social media. My handle is @IamRuby, and I tend to hang out on Instagram the most. If you don't dig social media, if you're starting to hate it, just join me in my Awake and Aware Telegram community, rubyfremon.com/Telegram. For those of you who have already purchased a copy of the book, thank you so much for your support with Potent Leadership. Please remember to share pictures of you with the book, and be sure to tag me @IamRuby and use the hashtag Potent Leadership for a chance to get featured. I fucking love seeing these pictures. It's always so humbling and so exciting to see you all with the book. So please do make sure you tag me. And then finally, make sure you check back on Monday for a brand new episode of Potent Truth. Aho, leaders.